Photography. Many different genres, many different types, many different subjects. There's wildlife photography, landscape photography, macro photography, portraiture, the list goes on and on, right? I'm not going to go and name them all. But what I found out over the past couple of years, you know, I meet a lot of photographers, I hang out with a lot of photographers, and I found that a lot of them are, you know, they're not as diverse or versatile. They stick to that one niche, they stick to what they're good at, or they stick to whatever they love, and that's that, you know. And you know, I've noticed this with some of my friends. They just photograph wildlife. Some only photograph birds, one specific animal. Maybe it's because they love it, or maybe it's because they're just good at it, you know. It's one thing being good at wildlife, and it's one thing being good at landscapes. But I think it comes down to not just skill, but passion. You know, you gotta love what you shoot, right? I love everything. I love people. I love animals. I love nature. I love product photography. I mean, I spent an hour just before photographing a glass of wine, you know, and a bottle of wine. I love still life and fruit and bread and slabs of cheese, and you know, working with nice lighting like I have here. Omni Studio lighting, which is very affordable and very effective. And that is that is the whole point of this video. It's to prove that you don't need high-end gear to produce professional-looking images, and not just high-end gear, but new gear. I'm going to show you some old cameras that I have. And I'm going to show you the pictures that I took with them only yesterday. And, you know, one guy asked me on Instagram, what camera did you use to take this? What lens? I said, my kit lens, my $100 lens, all right, my 18 to 55 kit lens, and a 15-year-old camera, okay? This was it. I'm going to show you the images later in the video. My Nikon D200. This camera is a tank. I love it. They don't build them like this anymore. It's the entire body is made of magnesium alloy. Okay? I love this thing. I'm never going to sell it. There's no reason to. It's an excellent backup camera. You know, when I'm shooting wildlife, I don't like to change lenses. The lenses are heavy. The telephoto lenses are really heavy. I don't want to carry extra camera bags. I'd rather just sling this thing over my shoulder, slap on a little lens, and whenever I see a nice image, for instance, on the way home from shooting a snowy owl last year, if you hear any noises, it's my dogs. Last month, I was shooting a snowy owl. On the way home to the car, the sun had set and the sky was beautiful. That's what this is for, you know. You slap on a wide angle and take landscapes as you photograph wildlife. So, you know, I've also realized another thing is that, and that's that people, a lot of photographers are, some photographers, but no, a lot of photographers are really into the hardware. They're such techies, you know, they're tech junkies. They're like the guy who used to buy the 68 Camaro just so he could take apart the engine and modify it and see how everything works. And you know, these types of photographers know everything about their hardware. They know everything about the filters and the sensors and the everything. You know, I'm not one of those guys. Just give me the camera. I don't care if it's a Nikon, a Canon, a mirrorless, a full frame, crop sensor. I don't care. Just give me the tool for the job, and that's that. As long as it's a good camera, I don't care if it's $800. I don't care if it's $5,000. The fact is, I'm an amateur. I do sell work, but I don't make, you know, I don't make a salary from photography. I'm not going to go out and spend $5,000 on a camera just so it can give me that slight improvement. That's the thing with camera gear. It's an expensive hobby, but you don't really have to make it so expensive if you're just shooting to please yourself and family and sell some images on the side and make a calendar here and there. You know, you don't need a 50 megapixel camera if you're only going to print 8x10s, you know what I mean? It doesn't make sense. People go out and splurge on cameras, high-end professional cameras, thinking it's going to make them a better photographer. It's not. What makes a good photographer, what makes you a good photographer is experience, and that's that. So let me talk about some of these lenses and cameras I have here before me, okay? I primarily shoot with this. It's a D5500 with an 18 to 55 millimeter kit lens. This camera has more megapixels than the D500, which costs twice as much. I paid $800 for it. And it's 24 megapixels. Yeah, it only shoots 5 frames per second. I'm not a professional. If I miss a shot of a bald eagle, I don't care because I'm not getting paid for it. I'll go to the beach tomorrow and that's that. It's a 5.6 lens, which means I need a lot of light. And most photographers want to shoot in that golden sunlight anyway. Who wants to shoot out in dank conditions? Professionals, if they have no choice but to go out and they need to produce quality images and they can't afford to wait until tomorrow for the weather to get better. So yeah, they're going to need good gear. I don't need that. I don't. That's why I walk around with these things. 70 to 300, okay? A 70 to 300 millimeter lens. This lens, folks, what I've been through with this thing, the mud and the sweat and the hiking and the mountains and the hills, and I've been through wars with this thing, and it always produces. I don't use it as much now. I only use it if I go to a zoo because you have to be close to the animal. I also take landscapes with it, tight landscape shots. And street photography. This thing is excellent for street photography. If you want to zoom in across the street and, get an image of get a dramatic image of people walking in the street and, good urban photography. This is good. This is good for that. It's also a good portraiture lens, but I don't use it for portraits anymore. Mostly because it's a 5.6 lens. And when I'm indoors and you working with studio light, I'm gonna go with my little nifty 50. Yes, that's what they call this thing. It's a nifty 50 millimeters. It's a 1.8 lens, which means you're gonna get great results in low light. It's $200. That's what I paid for it new. I don't know what it goes for used, much less than that. And you're getting a 1.8 lens for $200. Why this isn't in anybody's camera bag, I do not know. If it's not, just get it. I mean, you got nothing to lose. Who doesn't want a 50 millimeter 1.8, right? Now, actually, let me just show you what this thing can do. Okay, let me show you what this thing can do. This is a picture I took of my niece a few days ago. Come on, isn't that a gorgeous shot? $200, folks. All right, speaking of economical, the legendary, yes, this lens is going to go down as a legend. The 205. I'm going to say one thing right now. It might cause drama. It might cause people to lash out at me in the comment section, but I don't care. This thing can produce shots as good as $15,000 professional telephotos. That's right. This thing can produce shots as good as lenses that cost 10 times the amount that this thing costs. Okay, this costs $1,500, and man, does it deliver. It's heavy. Okay, it is heavy. It's 5.6. You're gonna need good light. But even a 500 millimeter 5.6 lens is a lot different than a 50 millimeter 5.6 lens. You know what I mean? 500 millimeters is going to get you close, and it's going to get you details. And so what, man? Even if you need to ramp up that ISO to 1600, if you're close to your subject, you're going to get great shots. And just check out my YouTube videos to see what that thing can do. Okay, just check it out. And last but not least, I want to go and mention this again and show you what I did with it yesterday out on the beach. I'm going to end the video here. And again, I'm not bragging, but my point is you can take great shots with old equipment and affordable equipment. And that's that. Well, I'm going to end it here. Here are the images that I took with this lens yesterday afternoon on the beach with an 18 to 55 kit. Okay, folks? Great shots, beautiful shots, quality professional shots, all achieved with a 15-year-old camera and a $100 wide-angle lens. Enjoy.